Welcome to The Explainer. So, let's just dive right in, because today we're tackling a problem that I swear strikes fear into the hearts of perfectly normal people everywhere. Picture this. You're at a gathering. Someone walks up, gives you a friendly smile, and asks that absolute dreaded question. So, what do you do for fun? And nothing. Your mind just goes completely blank. It literally feels like getting a personality is some impossible, closely guarded secret, right? Like Area 51 stuff. But what if I told you that getting a personality is actually incredibly easy? In fact, it's so easy that you used to do it effortlessly.
Just think about the stark contrast between who you were back then and who you feel like you are right now. I mean, it was ridiculously easy to have a personality as a kid. Your entire identity could literally just be, liking Harry Potter, knowing a bunch of random frog facts, and being an absolute champion at Connect 4. That was the whole shebang. An adult could talk to you, and within 40 seconds, they knew exactly who you were. You were the Harry Potter Connect 4 frog kid. It was clear, it was memorable, but then we fast forward to adulthood, and for some reason, we lose this. We look inward, and we just find this boring blank slate. 82. Yep, we've all felt this deep, sinking frustration. Because after the 82nd time in a row of someone asking about your hobbies, and you just sitting there, completely unable to name a single one of your interests, man, it really starts to feel like you just don't have any. You actually start to believe the lie that you're just intrinsically uninteresting, like you bring absolutely nothing to the table in a conversation. But here's the good news. Getting a personality is way simpler than the internet makes it seem.
Which brings us to Section 1, Extrovert Propaganda. Time to unlearn some truly terrible advice.
So to fix this problem, we first absolutely have to unlearn the useless advice that gets constantly pushed on us. Seriously, if you go to Google right now to fix your personality problem, you're going to see a list that looks exactly like this. People love to say, just be yourself. But let's be real for a second. That is pure extrovert propaganda. Extroverts can be interesting just by existing, right? Because they naturally use these social wizard tactics that introverts might logically know about, but can't just effortlessly pull off. So, unless you're suddenly going to flip a switch and become an extrovert overnight, Google's next bright ideas are to take personality tests, read way more books, force yourself into a pottery class, or travel the world. But here's the truth. Doing a bunch of random, disconnected activities doesn't just magically build you a personality.
The absolutely crucial point here is this. Having a personality simply means people can associate clear, memorable traits with you. Think back for a second. Think about the kid who pushed you over on the playground in kindergarten. Or, the guy in the cargo pants who brought exotic snakes to your school assembly to tell you snake facts. You remember them because they had exceptionally clear, defining traits. So no matter how many books you read or how many awkward pottery classes you sit through, those things by themselves won't make you seem interesting unless they actually translate into something memorable. What you really care about is having stuff to talk about and having people remember things about you.
That leads us right into Section 2, the spike method, and how to stand out from the crowd.
Now, this is the core solution of our explainer today, and it's actually a highly effective trick borrowed directly from some of the most competitive environments on Earth. The spike method is all about having one super obscure, highly specific niche that makes you stick out, rather than trying to be this perfectly well-rounded person. Fun fact here, college admissions officers at Ivy League schools are literally paid to look for these spikes. They want applicants who have cool, highly memorable personalities. Regular, everyday students get into these top-tier schools without needing to, donate a building, simply because they are better than 99% of people at something totally obscure. The college essays with the highest success rates are always about super niche things. We're talking competitive knitting or the medical applications of Tetris. It sticks out, it's a spike.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how easy it is to create your own spike. Let's look at a kind of bizarre but perfectly fitting example, the cleaning spike. Let's just say you decide you like cleaning. You think it's relaxing. Okay, so you spend a little time every single day learning cleaning methods, reading up on weird cleaning lore, watching those intensely satisfying cleaning videos on your phone. Maybe you even go all out, save up, buy a pressure washer, and start shooting the gunk off people's driveways for extra money.
Well, in less than a month of diving into this weird little niche, your experience level absolutely shoots to 99, while the average person is still stuck way down at 1. Think about that. You will have put more experience into cleaning than 99% of people will ever have in their entire lifetime. Which means the very next time you meet someone new, you are now officially the cleaning expert to them. Just imagine that conversation. So what do you do for fun? Oh, I'm really into cleaning actually. I know all the secret lore about robot vacuums. Or I just bought a pressure washer. I can totally come shoot the gunk off your driveway this weekend. Suddenly, you're not boring. You are fascinating. Now, I know exactly what you might be thinking. You're sitting there like, but I don't want to be the pressure washer robot vacuum person for the rest of my life. But remember this, that thing just gets your foot in the door. You really don't have to talk about fast clothes folding techniques forever. The obscure topic simply acts as a hook. It gets people to actually stop and listen to you instead of just zoning out. And once they're engaged, once they think you're an interesting person, then you can effortlessly transition into a totally normal conversation about literally anything else.
So let's break down the actual undisputed formula here. It's just 3 steps. Step 1, find a weird interest. And I mean, no matter how strange it is. Step 2, gain experience in it until you know just slightly more about it than most normal people do. Step 3, when introducing yourself, talk about this thing. And honestly, the best part, there is delightfully no step 4. It really truly is that easy to manufacture a personality, right from scratch. Moving on to section 3, the golden rule. Why you need to communicate properly. Now, before you run off to become the world's leading expert in, say, competitive thumb wrestling, you need to realize that picking a spike is only half the battle. You absolutely must communicate it properly. Take the example of beating Minecraft without touching the ground. Let's say your spike is Minecraft. You've spent a whole month becoming a total expert. Hey, that is completely valid, but no one is going to care if you walk up to them and dive straight into the advanced mechanics of how you beat the game without touching the floor. Why? Because the vast majority of people don't even know how Minecraft works. They don't even know there's a way to actually beat the game in the first place. If you jump straight to the confusing, high-level achievements, you immediately alienate your audience. You have to explain what it is, how you got into it, and then share the cool achievement. People are incredibly patient, and they will listen to basically any topic as long as they can actually understand it.
And this brings us to a really perfect comparison, the Bill Nye approach versus the volcano PhD approach. Think about it. When Bill Nye the science guy explains volcanoes to you, he uses accessible, simple words and makes it wildly interesting. But when a PhD in volcano science just drones on and on, using massive niche terms and big words just to sound smart, you start wondering halfway through if they're even a real human being. The second you start using heavy jargon just to sound intelligent, that is the exact second people completely stop listening to you. Keep it accessible. Which leaves us with the final and definitely the most important question. So, what is your spike going to be? You know now that being interesting isn't just some magical trait you're born with. It's a strategy. It's entirely about rejecting those extrovert norms, picking that one weird, obscure thing you kind of like, and leaning into it hard until you hit that 99th percentile. Forget about being perfectly well-rounded. Find your spike, learn the lore, keep your explanations accessible, and you'll never have to fear the "what do you do for fun?" question ever again. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I seriously cannot wait to see what weird niches you all conquer.